Motorbiking the Mainland with Troy and Dan. I do believe we've got these two gentlemen on the line right now. Good morning.
Morning, how are you?
How are you?
I'm very well rested. We're at Quebec right now, and I'm standing on one of those twisty platforms that you find at the little exercise spots you see all over Korea. I'm stretching, I'm getting ready for the day.
You mean as in Taebaek San or Taebaek Mountain?
Quebec-Chi, Quebec City.
I see. Hey,
Yeah.
I was kind of worried. It's been really hot, 36, 37 degrees across the country. Are you guys having any problems with the weather?
Yesterday, actually I talked about it in my post. Yesterday was the hottest day we've had so far.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not a huge fan of the heat. I actually was driving and I felt a little faint.
Yeah.
So we had to pull over a little more often than we usually have been doing.
So
And
gotta
just
water
to
up,
drink.
right?
Yeah, exactly. Just to drink. Like I've never drank so much Gatorade, Powerade, water, just anything, Pocari Sweat, anything that will quench my thirst. And just to get into the shade, too, just to get out of the sun.
Definitely. Troy,
I don't... Yeah.
I think your skin's going to be glowing from all the water when you get to the studios.
Yeah. It's going to be glowing because it's milk white. I'm well covered up.
Are you getting a nice tan? Because you're kind of white there, Troy.
No, seriously. I have my sleeves on, and I pour on the sunscreen on my legs.
Good for you.
Yeah, I'm all covered up. I'm still a glass of milk.
Because it's 37 degrees where you guys are, but if you're just in the hot sun driving the whole time, it could feel like 41, 2, 3 degrees easy, right?
Yeah, for sure. And it's really nice. Like, our paths, our roads take us along the rivers, too, so we can always get out and jump into the river. Although the river's not very refreshing because the water's so warm. It's still nice to get in there, get your clothes wet, and then when you're driving on your bike, that cools it down with the wind.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
All right, well, is there anything, do you want to do a shout-out to your wife or any of your friends on Jeju Island?
Sure, I'll tell you a little story. Actually, I shout out to my wife about every 3 minutes. We met a really nice bunch of people at our last campsite. We went down and had some makgusu, which is a delicious dish. And so we went to Family Mart, and Dan had some ice cream afterwards. And we met these 5 people, and we were talking, really nice folks. And we started playing a game where you put $1 in, and there's some type of a lever that pushes prizes off the back shelf and then comes down and falls to you. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to get these stamps, and I missed. And then one of the other guys, without me knowing, went over and he won it and gave it to me. So I've hung them on my bike, and every time I see them dangling there, I think of Jung-ah.
Is this the picture that you put up on our photo board? I see a lot of pictures that you guys sent in.
Yeah, we sent a lot of pictures. It would be a group of us, maybe 5 people with Dan and I.
I see it.
Those are them. Yep, and one of those won me the prize. So shout out to Jung-ah, and I talk to her every day, and I love her, and I miss her.
How about Popo for Jung-ah, huh? Oh, that was so lame. Come on, Troy, you can do better.
I'm pretty sure this is a family radio station.
It's okay. It's Arirang family. We all feel the love. Come on. Do it, Troy.
I love you, Jung-ah.
There you go.
Oh, my God.
One more thing. I
now.
see this beautiful picture of you guys camping at Nigok Beach. Is it Nagok Beach? Okay, Nagok Beach.
Nagok Beach. Yeah, we're on the West Coast today. Actually, we're heading back inland. We're going to pick up a friend of ours. So we're basically retracing yesterday's path, going back inland. Can't remember the name of the city that we're going to. We're going to pick him up, and we're going to stay at Nagok Beach again tonight.
Mm-hmm.
It's a beautiful place. The water's beautiful. Lots of restaurants around. We're going to have, I can't remember the name of the dish. We're going to have gul.
Yum, delicious.
Yeah, is it good?
Oh, yeah.
They said they don't cook it, right? It's raw.
It's raw. It's just like oysters. Big, fat oysters, baby.
Huge.
Yes.
They're huge, like the size of my fist.
Yes, they're delicious.
And I have big fists.
And I want pictures, and I want you to put it right next to your face or your fist.
Oh yeah, we're gonna take some pictures. We try to take pictures of every dish we have that's local.
And there's some great ones. I see the 닭갈비 that you guys had.
Mm-hmm, that was the best. I told Dan that literally when I go have 닭갈비, I can't really see the difference or taste the difference between this 닭갈비 and that. But this one was the best I've ever had in my life.
And I see you guys are having some jimbang, the bread.
Jimbang, yeah. I had the vegetable jimbang. That was very tasty.
And then, let's see, jimtak that you had, the steamed chicken.
Yeah, we have everything.
Yes.
We're well fed, Lisa. We're well fed.
You certainly are.
Yeah.
Bring
and
some
well
with
watered,
you.
too. Well fed and well watered. Hey, when we get to Seoul, we're going to have lots to choose from.
Well, I think that's the most important thing is to stay healthy. Like I said, stay watered up and, of course, keep that sunblock on. And lots of people want to peel off the clothes, but you want to stay covered to stay cooler, right?
Yeah, exactly. And these sleeves, like I was telling a friend of mine the other day, the first time I saw these sleeves, I thought, oh, that's cute, but it must be very hot in them. Mm-hmm. The first time I put these sleeves on a couple of years ago, I was instantly cool. My arms were instantly cooled down.
Right.
And they're my life savior. They are.
I made these new discoveries, and I wish I could throw them at you. There's these little towels that you can put over your head or on your neck, and it's like instant coolness, and it stays cool for like an hour.
Pick me up one. I'll come to Seoul today to get one of them.
All right. Well, is Dan next to you, Troy?
He is, and he has some more information, some more tips for everybody that's going out on any type of trip.
Fantastic. We're going to be talking with Dan Nabben, a.k.a. Dan Nabby. That's his new name. Good morning, Dan.
Good morning, Lisa. How are you?
So are you enjoying your trip?
Oh, yeah. We're loving the trip. The last couple of days, every day, the cruising part is awesome. And today, in particular, just awesome. We lose half of our pack or most of our pack when we decide we're going to stay for 2 nights. Mm-hmm. And when that weight is off, it's just so much fun driving these roads, the curves and the shadows and the light and the mountains and the rivers. It's fantastic.
And just to reiterate, you guys are hitting the lesser-known roads in the back alleys and the local roads is how you're traveling, right?
Almost exclusively, yeah. All the village connecting roads.
And I've been keeping up with your posts and everything that you and Troy have been posting, updates and how you feel on these trips. You guys can all check them out on Facebook, right?
That's right. We haven't given a detailed description of the little cities we've gone to along the way, little villages, but we can update that when we get all the mapping done and everything. We'll show exactly which route we took.
In the meantime, our listeners can go to the Arirang homepage. It's Travelbug, and then we have the photo board with all the photos pretty much following you guys along your trip.
That's right.
All right. I know you got some tips for us quickly.
Yeah, review that these trips are for anybody. You got a scooter or motorcycle, it's no problem. You can take these trips. And we talked about the map, how to read the map and stay on the green roads and the orange roads that don't have the yellow dots. And then packing your stuff in a big tarp with bungees. And now I want to talk about clothes, Lisa. Mm-hmm. Clothes are huge. Stay with sport fabrics. Mm-hmm. Light sport fabrics because they let you cool down quickly. And then, like Troy said, you can jump in the water, get them wet, and they're not going to weigh you down. They're not going to, they're going to dry pretty quickly. And when it rains, it's also nice to have these clothes on because some of the rain, you don't really want to stop and wait it out. You kind of want to ride through it. But at the same time, if you're wearing cottons, it's gonna absorb all of it. So you want those sport fabrics so it can wash off right when you're done with the rain. You dry off nice and quick.
Mm-hmm. And these are like synthetic fabrics you're talking about.
Exactly.
Okay, great.
Exactly. We also avoid wearing shoes. We wear sandals most of the time for the same reason. So the sweat or the rain comes in, it doesn't soak up your feet and make it very uncomfortable to ride. Mm-hmm. I also want you to wear stuff with pockets, Lisa, when you're riding.
Because
you need access. We'll talk about this tomorrow. When you're setting out your day, it's a really good idea to have a little mini map written out of where you're going to go because it makes it more enjoyable when you know when to turn and what cities are coming up ahead. So you want sort of an easy access to that. You don't want to have to stop every single time and check the map because there are a lot of these roads and these signs that don't quite make sense if you have to keep reading them and looking at the map every 10 seconds.
I think that's why you see all the hikers in Korea wearing those vests with multiple pockets. They got their water in one, they've got a little snack in the other, they've got all sorts of little stuff to keep them going, right?
Yeah, exactly. And you want your camera handy, and you want other things. Not that we're riding no-handed, but but every now and again you want to take a quick snapshot of something. So it's good to have that.
Fantastic.
I also think you should have a rain suit. We do carry, at least I do now, carry a rain suit because sometimes it gets a bit too much. and you want to have that ready for you. At the same time, that sport fiber synthetic fabric clothing you're going to have underneath keeps you cool. You're not going to get all sweaty and soggy inside the rain suit.
And have you guys been rained on yet?
Not yet. Knock on wood. I'm knocking on wood right now, Lisa.
I'll do it for you.
Thank you.
All right. Well, I mean, I'm certainly looking forward to you guys. You guys have made it about halfway in your trip so far. We're expecting you guys here, hopefully, by Monday morning. I do believe there's going to be a camera crew following you guys from Arirang Radio in a few days' time, and hopefully they will cover you guys making it to our Arirang studios.
Awesome. We're looking forward to that. Definitely.
All right. Stay safe, stay dry, stay cool, and stay hydrated.
Thanks, Lisa.
Thank you, Dan. That was Dan and Troy on the road. We'll check in with them again tomorrow morning around this time. In the meantime, before we bring in Jay Troy for High Tech Geek, here is the Bubble Sisters. I like these girls. They got good voices too, huh? Bubble Sisters with Tohesa. Motorbiking the Mainland with Troy and Dan. Time for us to catch up with these two guys. How are you doing today?
Good morning, Lisa. How you doing?
Oh, it's humid and hot over here, but I bet you guys have it worse.
It's beautiful right now. I just actually went for a dip in the ocean, and it's spectacular here at Nagok Beach on the East Coast.
Ooh, did you have your panties on?
Actually, I couldn't find my shorts. I had to wear my denim or my khaki shorts in, but it was so beautiful just to get into the water. It's morning. I haven't even showered yet, and for breakfast I had a swim. So
that sounds wonderful. I'm glad you guys are having a good time. And so, where are you today?
Well, we stayed here at Nagok Beach, and we are actually thinking about staying another night. But we looked at the map. We want to get to Injay, around Injay tomorrow. So we're gonna ride up the East Coast, up near Sorak, stay the night there, and then come into the mainland probably Wednesday afternoon, and head towards Injay for some whitewater kayaking on Thursday morning.
Now, earlier we connected with Busan, and they were telling me that the beaches are just thronging with people. Is it like that where you are? Is there a lot of people? You're at a beach.
Actually, I was going to tell you this. I can count on one hand how many people are on this beach right now. This is like Korea's East Coast best kept secret. There are literally 6 people on the beach. I guess I need 2 hands to count, but there are literally 6 people on this beach right now. I have, I'm looking around, we have 6 tenters, or 6 families tenting, I guess. There's a hotel there, but I mean, it's perfect weather. No, it's not perfect weather. It's a little bit windy, so the waves are a little bit big, but I mean, if this was Jeju, this beach would be packed.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, so it's nice. It's nice to have a beach all to yourself.
All right, so those of you looking for a secret spot to have some summer fun, this is the place.
Yeah. Hey, we hit a couple milestones last night.
Yes.
Yeah, we hit 2,000 kilometers yesterday.
Congratulations.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And I was telling Dan that, you know, it's day 8 and we hit 2,000 kilometers, and the last 2 trips have been, I think, 2,100 or 2,300 kilometers, and that was 11 or 12 days. So it just goes to show when you're riding for charity, you ride a little bit longer and a little bit farther than you would in any other day.
That's great. I just hope you make it here in one piece. You know, next Monday is the big day when Troy and Dan will join us here in the studio. Hopefully, you guys will be looking nice and tan.
No, I'm not. I'm staying milky. I'm staying
you're not
milky
tanning,
white.
Are you?
I already put my sunscreen on early in the morning. I got my sleeves on.
I'm glad you're taking care of your skin. Good deal.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. What's Dan doing this morning?
Dan's over here. Actually, I'll tell you, just before Dan gets here, we have another kind of milestone.
Okay.
Our friend Matt joined us. We actually, at the 2,000-kilometer mark, Dan and I were hiding behind a rock. We were going to surprise our friend Matt, who flew to Seoul, bought a motorcycle, and then drove yesterday from Seoul to the East Coast. I think he drove like 9 hours.
So you are no longer a beautiful couple. You are now a threesome.
Yeah, we are. We got 3 of us now. We're a trio trekking around this country.
Woohoo!
So we might have to change the name of the show to Motorbiking the Mainland with Troy and Dan, open parentheses, and Matt, close parentheses. So
fantastic.
Yeah. Okay, listen, I'll pass you over to Dan, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Okay, thank you so much.
Have a great day.
All right, we've got Dan on the line now. Dan,
Hi, Lisa.
how do you feel about the threesome?
How do I feel about this weekend?
How do you feel about the threesome?
Oh, the threesome. Well, this is really cool. This is something we've wanted to do for 4 years now. We've tried to get the three of us together, and it hasn't worked out. And for Matt to go to the extent that he went, like Troy said, flying a soul, getting the bike, and he went through, as so many of us have experienced, all that paperwork you have to go through, Lisa, to get the bike, to get the registration, get insurance, and all that. You have to sit through all that, a whole day of subways and offices and waiting lines and all that kind of stuff. And it's really, really great that this has finally come to fruition.
Well, I'm sure it's a worthwhile trip, and hopefully he'll be very happy at the end of it.
Yeah, he said he's very, very happy right now.
All right, 3 happy campers indeed. Anything to report?
Anything to report? Well, geez, Lisa, there's so much to talk about. Let's talk about just weather. Okay, so we talked about like clothing yesterday, and for instance, like we were really hot yesterday. It was like extremely hot at certain points, and we decided not to ride for about an hour and a half and just take a break in the shade. And then it got really chilly at night when we were riding back from when we picked up Matt. But it was good to have, like we talked about yesterday, all those synthetic clothes are rolled up and they don't take up much space. Or whipped out my long sleeves and the rain jacket. And there's a bit of rain and fog last night too, for a little bit. But we're all protected and we were chilly for a while. We warmed up and it was okay. The other thing I want to talk about, Lisa, is one of the most important things I think when you're doing one of these trips is to have some kind of handle on Korean, even if you don't know what any of the words mean. Just be able to read the signs, sound it out, makes such a huge difference when you're driving around. Like everything's Romanized, just about everything is Romanized as well, but it's so much faster and so much easier if you learn just just Hangul and maybe a couple words, and you can really make the trip so much more fun because you're not stopping and you don't spend so much time trying to figure out where you are. It's pretty easy for the most part.
Right.
For the most part, it's
well,
pretty
lucky
easy.
for you guys, you speak and read Korean, so Troy's safe. It's like the dumb leading the dumber. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I know you're very intelligent.
Joy's Korean is getting there. It's pretty solid right now. He's really doing it. It's funny because we can look over the last 3 trips of the last 4 years, and he's come a long way. He's
That's
doing really
great.
well.
Fantastic. And that was Dan's tip of the day. Thank you so much, Dan. I hope the 3 of you guys don't get into any mischievous trouble.
We will be on our best behavior, Lisa. We're gonna do foreigners proud. We hope.
All right.
And I want to just make one shout out, big thank you to everyone who's been contributing to this pledge that you started. Arirang's been a big part of this. It's really, I don't know how to say it, really heartwarming when we see the event page and we see people pitching in and big sums too. Like I'm sure you've seen them, big amounts of money.
I was actually carrying a small envelope, and now it's turned into this huge, I think you can hear it, a huge envelope now, because someone donated $10 in 100 wons. So I don't know if you can hear the change, but I'm carrying around like a lot of change. It's really heavy. I think maybe I'll just go and exchange it. But thank you to everyone. Every penny counts, and I'm sure all the children are going to be very, very happy to receive your warm heart, your thoughts, and your cash.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. That was Troy and Dan on the road. They've just rendezvoused with one more friend, so it's the 3 of them on their bikes now. And we'll check in with them again tomorrow morning. In the meantime, I've got another song for you before we bring Michelle into the studio. Here is Kona with 우리의 밤은 당신의 낮보다 아름답다. Our nights are much more beautiful than your days. Motorbiking the Mainland with Troy and Dan. All right, I do believe we have Troy on the line. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Oh, you sound cheerful today.
I'm always cheerful, Lisa. Always.
Where are you guys right now?
We're in Inje.
Inje. Woohoo!
Yeah, we got up early this morning, got out on an early start, and we got to Inje, and we're going to go down now and look for a rafting company. We're going to make a reservation for kayaks tomorrow.
Fantastic.
And then we're just going to do some cruising around the mountains.
That's great. Oh, well, that's why I was so happy when I heard Inje. Just for our listeners who aren't familiar, this is an area where you can get lots of water sports done. And Troy and Dan are going to be rafting tomorrow?
Yes, we are, and Matt too. Remember, we have Matt now
yes.
too. Yeah, we're all. We're just going to go down. I think it's about a 2.5 hour ride down a river. Not sure which river it is. There's a couple around here, but we did it a couple years ago, and it was one of the highlights of our trip.
Oh, yeah.
It's very safe. But the kayaks are inflatable kayaks, and they're very, very safe, very difficult to fall out of them. And the rapids aren't crazy. Like, it hasn't rained here in a long time, so the rapids aren't, they're not like class 4 rapids or anything.
Right. Once again, Troy reiterated the fact that they're safe, so it's fun and safe, and it's hot out there. So if our buggies want to go and check it out, Korea's a great place to do it. It's not too expensive, right, Troy?
For me, it was actually a little expensive. This is 2 years ago. It was 6만 won for 2.5 hours.
Honey, 6만 won, that's $60 for 2.5 hours, is a very good price.
Oh, sorry. Okay, maybe I'm just cheap.
You're cheap.
Gee. Well, but I'll tell you what. I thought it was expensive when we did it, but it was well worth it. It was so much fun, and it's just a nice, relaxing time on the river. You get to jump out in a couple places and swim. So it's just a really nice time, really great time.
Great.
And I recommend to do the kayaking and not the rafting, because the rafting, for me anyway, I'm a type A personality where I like adrenaline. I like to go fast. I like, I'm a type A, so I like to be excited. And with the raft, you have 6 or 7 people in the raft, and the rapids weren't violent enough for me.
Okay, so you guys are going canoeing and not rafting?
No, we're going kayaking.
Excuse me, kayaking.
Yeah,
and so,
rafting.
If you need a little more calmness like me because I can't swim, I would probably prefer the rafting.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
Because it's just bigger, and you don't feel it as much.
How is it traveling with a third wheel?
It's good. He just bought the bike. Matt just bought the bike on the Monday, so he's getting used to the bike. And then yesterday, I think I told you yesterday, it was kind of an off day. We were just going to relax and take our time at the beach, spend the day at the beach. And then we decided not to do that. But it ended up, we did do that because Matt's bike was a little bit broken. So we went to 3 or 4 mechanics to find out what the problem was. And it ended up being his carburetor.
Brand new bike and something is broken. That's not good news.
Yeah, I know. And it was a carburetor, so that was a little bit expensive. But anyway, we got it fixed. And I liked it because we spent all day at mechanics and we didn't ride all day.
Right. But it still must be very frustrating when you're on a ride and yet you don't have access to a serviceman right away.
Exactly. And we were lucky enough, I wish I could remember where we were yesterday, but we were lucky enough to kind of pass 3 or 4 mechanics right in a row, and the 4th mechanic figured it out, fixed it. And Matt and Dan and I just sat down, we played some cards, we just visited, talked, did Facebook stuff, and we did Furey stuff. So we got things done, and our bodies thanked us because it's hard. We're going 4, 5, 6 hours on the bike. It's hard on your body.
Well, it still sounds like you guys are having a great time. You're still raring, going. It's Wednesday. You have yet another 5 days till you hit our studios.
Yeah. Well, we're going to hit Seoul on Friday. Tomorrow's the rafting, and then we're going to make our way to Seoul, and then we're going to hit Seoul on Friday and visit some friends and get some stuff done up there. I got to go to the embassy and stuff, and then we're going to hit the studio on Monday morning.
Fantastic.
Looking forward to it.
All right. Well, we don't have much time. Can you pass the phone to Dan?
I certainly will. I'll
talk to you tomorrow.
Have a good day.
All right, Buggies, you can check out the photos of Dan and Troy. I have today's photos up, day 9 of their trip on the Travelbug photo board. It looks like they're having some good food. Good morning, Dan.
Good morning, Lisa. How are you?
Are you enjoying having Matt joining you guys on the trip?
Absolutely. It's I love Troy. It's great traveling with him, but it's even better with Matt here now.
Yes, now that he can buffer some of that bad sense of humor that Troy's got, huh?
Some of it.
Just kidding.
It's 24/7, Lisa.
I know, nonstop.
He doesn't stop every time. Every time we stop at a red light or something, Troy's open up his visor, telling me some joke that he thinks is funny, and then I have to pretend it's funny, and then we keep going.
Well, just be glad that he's not a girl. Can you imagine a girl like that? Anyways, do you have any comments for today?
I do. Lisa, like Troy said, we stopped by at this mechanic, and it was about the third one we'd gone through the day, and it was about 6 o'clock, and I think he was about to close shop, and we came in and we said, do you have this special unit for this bike? And he said, he looked at me and he said, yeah, okay, and he invited us in, and he worked on it for another hour and a half, 2 hours, and we've come across this a lot, Lisa. These people, they're just so friendly and helpful, and they go the extra mile, and they go out of their way, and they make you feel, like they're going to take care of you, and they're going to do their best to take care of you. And he worked on that bike. He didn't stop, didn't take a break, and his friend was helping him, and it's just so nice to get that kind of fantastic service at that time of the day. Most people would have said, no, I'm done. You find someone else or come back tomorrow. But this guy, no, I'll see what I can do. And when even when he didn't find the problem at first, he kept on looking for a solution, and he got it.
It's so good to know that there are people so willing to go out of their way to help you, even with the language barrier and whatnot.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
And the look on everyone's face when he started the motor, and it sounded like it was, he had fixed that problem. It was awesome. It was fantastic.
Well, thank you, serviceman. All right. Well, it sounds like you guys are having a great time. Have fun kayaking tomorrow. We want pictures.
We'll give you pictures. We'll give you lots of pictures.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa.
That was Troy MacLellan and Dan Nabben on the road, Motorbiking the Mainland. Their goal is to ride for charity. We've got donations and pledges heading their way, and they will make it to our studios next Monday live right here on Travelbug. All right, Paul. Motorbiking the Mainland with Troy and Dan. I believe we have Troy on the line. Good morning.
Good morning, Lisa. Good morning, Buggies. How are you today?
Oh, we're doing great. How is the weather over wherever you are? Where are you?
Unchanged. We are just outside of Injay, 5 kilometers outside of Injay, underneath another large bridge. We decided to camp out here. We're on a river, and it's a nice flat river. It's quite wide, and we just grabbed our tents, set them up underneath the bridge, and now we're playing cards in the shade.
Is there enough room under that little tent for the 3 of you guys?
We actually, Matt brought his own tent.
Okay, he didn't want you fondling him. Okay, I see.
Yeah, that's a little bit inappropriate.
All right. Did you guys go kayaking yet?
Yes, we actually did. We actually went to the kayaking company that we found yesterday to make a reservation, and we decided, you know what, let's just do it today. It's nice. We're here. It wasn't busy, so we went. He actually, the owner actually kind of almost tried to talk us out of it because there's really not much water in the river right now because we haven't had rain in a while. So there weren't a lot of rapids. We actually got stuck on rocks quite a bit. It was quite fun, though. Actually, it wasn't quite fun. I was going to tell you that, remember yesterday I said it was quite expensive?
Right.
It is so worth the money.
I told you.
Yeah, I stand corrected there.
All right, well, I see your pictures right now on our photo board. Buggies, if you would like to see some of the pictures, I see a picture with you guys kayaking, dining down, chowing down, and then I see a beautiful picture of you guys camping. It looks like there's mountains, rolling hills in the background, and it's just gorgeous.
It is gorgeous, and we woke up today, and those mountains you see in the background were all capped with fog.
That's what I see in the picture. That's great.
Oh, that's the picture I sent. Good.
Basically, there's a clear field, nothing but your bikes and 2 tents.
Yep, and there's actually a lot of people. Well, there's only a few last night when we got here, there were quite a few people out here camping down by the riverside. We came back a little bit, but there were probably, I'd say 20 people down here, 20 tents anyway, probably more people. And so it's like you've seen, like I think I've sent quite a few photos up. There's a real river culture here in Korea where people just go right to the river, set up your tent, camp, or they just set up their tent for the day and spend some time in the water. And it's very unique.
Right. As long as you guys aren't there when there's a typhoon or anything, I think it's props to everyone for, making the effort to get out there and just really enjoy nature.
And I don't know, you could probably comment on this. Like, I haven't seen much camping. I didn't see much camping here when I first arrived. Like, there's a place at Hyupje in Jeju, between Hyupje and Gumnung, where there's a little forest. And when we first got there, I came here in 2007, we went camping that summer, and we were the only ones there. And then the next year, there were 2 Korean families. And then the next year, there were 10 Korean families.
Right.
I think that it's really accelerated.
Definitely. In the past 2 or 3 years, camping has become such a huge popular trend. And I think it's really reached its peak this last year and this year. So you see more and more people, they don't even have to leave Seoul. Troy, I'll tell you, I go to the Han River in the middle of Seoul, and there are literally at the Han River, there are about 10 or 20 tents there. During my walk with my dogs, there's just people there. They're not camping. They're just, they want to avoid the sun, but they want to lay there by the river. They bring their tents out.
Right. Yep. And I recommend it to everybody and anybody. And you don't need, a lot of people I've seen, they have some fancy setups. They basically bring a kitchen.
Right.
In a living room to camping. You don't need that. You can rough it, as we say.
Right.
Like Dan and I have a tent. We have a yoga mat to sleep on, and that's it.
Right. A lot of it is like very glamorized camping. I see these ones with like a separate bedroom and a living room in their tent.
Yeah,
but,
we saw one that you couldn't get to a room in the tent. You had to walk outside the tent to get to another room in the tent.
Wow.
That's extravagant.
It's very extravagant. Do you find any complications or difficulties when you're taking your tent out there? For example, I've done it a couple of times, and you obviously have to have a clear patch of ground, no rocks and whatnot. And the smarter people bring you guys are just with your backpacks, but if you have your car, they bring a little bit of a mattress or something to kind of cushion themselves between the ground.
I've seen like a set down before, and I've also seen cardboard. Cardboard works really well. Like Dan and I, the first night down in Yasu, if you look at the picture, we're camping. We were sleeping on gravel, like large gravel. And
I saw it.
It's not the most comfortable thing, but if you just put down we flattened it out, and if you put down cardboard, it really, really works. Like if you have some boxes, but like you said, we're on motorcycles, so it's kind of
you don't have the luxury.
Practical for us. Yeah, exactly. But like tonight, we just look around and look for a flat patch and set up.
All right, what's in the plan for today?
For today, we're actually meeting up with the Arirang TV crew, and we're going to cruise. We're going to go from here up north. We're going to go close to the DMZ, and then we're going to drive back down. Somewhere we're going to stop and set up camp, and then get ready for our drive into Seoul tomorrow.
The DMZ, that's going to be exciting. I know a lot of bikers who actually ride up to the fence there on the weekends once in a while. It's a beautiful experience.
Yeah, and I haven't mentioned this yet, but what's really exciting for me, it's quite fun, is to look at what pages we are on in our map. And we're going to be getting up to page 2. There is no page 1.
Right.
And so we're going to get up to page 2, which will be a first for us. And it's really exciting, and there's different colors, too. The sun different color than the middle, and the north. So it's exciting to travel during the day and to change colors on the map pages and to change numbers. And it's I know it's kind of silly to say that, but it's quite exciting for me to go through the map.
It's thrilling for me, too. I'm jealous, and I was actually talking to someone yesterday who actually heard you guys interview earlier in the week, and I said, I'm so jealous. I'm not a biker, but I would love to take some sort of camping vehicle or even my own car and take some food with me, and maybe if I had the luxury of 2 weeks or 3 weeks or a month, I would. But even for about 3 or 4 days, do something like that. No planning.
That's the thing. On the weekend is great. And again, I tell everybody that's listening to, on Friday night after work, jump in your car right away. Have your car packed. Jump in, and you don't have to go very far out of Seoul.
Right.
Like a half an hour out of Seoul or 1 hour out of Seoul. You're in the woods. You're in the country, and like these people are doing, and like we did tonight. Stop on the side of a river. Set up tents,
I think a lot of people think they have to go to a destination,
Nope.
And they also think that, it's on Friday night, it's going to be 2 hours of driving. But that's just it. We're not taking the major highways. You guys are taking local roads.
Local roads, yeah. We're taking, well, I don't know what it is on other maps, but on our maps it's orange and green roads. And, like you said, it's local roads. And just stop somewhere. Don't have a destination. That's the funnest part, not having a destination.
Well, I can't wait to see you guys here when you make it to Seoul. In the meantime, get just a few minutes. Maybe you could pass the phone to Matt or Dan.
Yeah, I will do just that. Here's Dan. He's got some things to tell you.
Okay.
Okay, bye-bye.
We've got Dan Nabben on the phone, I believe. Good morning.
Good morning, Lisa. How are you?
Oh, things are great. I'm excited to hear that you guys are going to be making it up to perhaps the DMZ today.
That would be excellent if we can make it. I mean, the closest we get to that, the better. That's going to be a lot of fun.
And how was your kayaking experience?
Kayaking was a blast. I had a particularly fun time. I watched Troy and Matt flip over again and 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 again. And the best part about them flipping over is the kayak is not a self-bailing thing. They have to flip it over, get under it, stand up under it, and then keep tilting it back and forth. So they have a kayak head for a good 5-10 minutes, and we have a lot of pictures. It's hilarious, Lisa, seeing these two guys.
Right.
They hold their kayak after. I mean, these aren't even big rapids, Lisa, and they lose their balance.
Well, right now the water should be pretty low, so for people out there who haven't had the kayaking experience, it shouldn't be too much of a burden to try it out, right?
Yes, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Absolutely right.
Before I let you go, do you want to throw in a couple of tips for today?
Well, not so much tips. Like I want to mention how accommodating people have been throughout this whole trip. For instance, the other day, we came to our campsite and we found out that Troy had broken it. He'd climbed, we think we climbed this tree, and he took a picture and he fell on our tent and broke 2 of the rods.
Oh, no.
So we right away went to the restaurant right next door. He said, "Do you have any duct tape?" They said, "Yep." They didn't even, didn't ask us for anything. Just, "Yeah, here's your duct tape. We fixed the tent. No problem." And then another time, we went rafting. The usual course is only, like a kilometer or so down the river, and we said, "Is it okay if we went without a guide, and if we went for a lot longer, and if we started farther up the river?" "Yeah, no problem, go right ahead." People have just been so accommodating.
So nice, right?
Oh, they're super nice.
I think Koreans are super nice anyway, but once you get outside of Seoul, that's when you find the really, really good people.
Absolutely. We talked about the mechanic who fixed our bike last time. He called us 2 hours later.
Really?
We were an hour up the road. We were up in Yangyang, and he called us at 10 o'clock at night, just double-checking if the bike was okay, if everything was in working order. And just that kind of service, that extra service is unbelievable.
Wow, that's wonderful. It just makes me really, really proud and happy to hear about the experiences you guys are having. And so I'm so pleased to see that everyone is really helping you guys out wherever you go. It would be horrible if you'd had a horrible experience and came back with a bunch of complaints, right? I'm certainly hoping that everyone is encouraged to pack up and have a trip out there. Dan, are you still on the line?
So, yes, I'm still there.
Yes. Okay, well, enjoy the rest of today and be safe, please.
Okay, and just 2 quick shout-outs. One, thank you again to all these people who are pledging for JG Furey and for the ride that Arirang and Lisa have started. And also, there's going to be a volleyball tournament, a beach volleyball tournament on Saturday, and the information is available on JG Furey, the Facebook, the social internet group that starts with an F online.
All right. Well, I mean, even if you don't play, we're looking for players. You could also just come out and cheer on everyone and show your support.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lisa.
All right, that was Dan Nabben, and before that we heard from Troy MacLellan. They are on the last leg of their ride. We'll talk to them once again tomorrow morning to see where they are and how they're doing. And on the weekend, they're on their own. And on Monday morning, we hope to see them right here in our studios. Let's go to a music break. Motorbiking the Mainland with Dan, Troy, and today, even Matt. She don't love me, she left my automobile. I believe we have Troy MacLellan on the line. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you, Lisa?
Oh, I'm doing great. I'm really looking forward to seeing you guys right here in the studio.
I'm looking forward to it, too. We got a couple days left.
Now, I thought because it's right before the weekend, pretty much the last time we're going to talk to you on the phone, it might be a good idea to kind of summarize these past couple of weeks.
Sure. Where do I begin? I guess we started on Jeju. We got packed up on Sunday night. Well, Dan got packed up on Sunday night.
And that's 2 weeks ago.
That was 2 weeks ago, yeah. I waited till Monday morning. We got all packed up and hit the ferry to Wando.
Mm-hmm.
And from Wando, we went to the Yasu World Expo, which was very interesting. Although we got there a little bit late and missed some pavilions, it was still interesting to walk around and be declined entrance to many of the pavilions. And then we kept on going kind of down the south coast, and we started going up, what was the name of the island?
Jeju.
Jeju.
I still remember.
You know more than I do. So we went out to Jeju. We did a tour of Jeju one day. We stayed there a couple of days on a beach, beautiful spot down there. And we stayed there. We did a tour of that place, and then we headed north. Because the first two trips we took 2 and 4 years ago, we went up the east coast.
Mm-hmm.
There's a beautiful shore road up the east coast. So Dan and I decided this time we would stay inland a little bit, and we just took some beautiful local roads up there, local highways. Got to see a lot of nice people, meet a lot of nice people, got to eat some good food.
Right.
And then we made our way up. Well, yesterday we were in Inje. Although, wow, I just skipped 10 days of riding. But you know what? It was just, for me, it's all just one day almost. Like it's just local road after local road.
Right.
Really quaint villages after quaint villages. And, nothing, I guess we stopped into Daegu for one day. And but most of it goes all into you're just in one village.
Mm-hmm.
We stayed away from the big cities, stayed to the small villages, the small towns, and it was a lot of fun.
Now, along with Motorbiking the Mainland, now Troy and Dan have been riding from Jeju, and their goal is to get to Seoul to our studios Monday morning. But a part of it is the ride for charity. And we've got lots of donations for you guys, but there were also some pledges. How many miles, or kilometers, I should say, have you guys racked up so far?
So far, I don't know perfect total, but so far we're somewhere around 2,500 kilometers.
Wow! That is crazy.
Which breaks our record from the first two. I think the first two were 2,100 and 2,300 respectively. But this is 2,500, and we're still driving today. We're somewhere in between Inje and Seoul right now.
Right.
We're going to make our way to Seoul today.
Mm-hmm.
So we're somewhere in between there, and we still got 100 kilometers to go probably. So.
Fantastic. Now I'm going to let you switch over the phone to Dan Nabben. Dan Nabben is right next to him, and for Dan, I have a different question. Dan, are you there?
I'm there, Lisa.
All right. Well, I talk to a lot of people. I tell our readers about how you can get on these boats and ferries, but you can do what Dan and Troy did is they took their motorbikes on the ferries so that you actually have transportation when you get to your destination, whether it be the mainland or an island. But you can do this with your bike or you can do this with your car or vehicle. Is that not correct?
That's absolutely correct, Lisa Kelley.
And is that, what do you think of that? Is it convenient? Is it take a lot of registration? What is required in doing this?
It takes almost no preparation, no time. We arrived at the port, instantly got our tickets, instantly boarded, and then you just wait around for the thing to set off. I think especially with motorcycles and scooters and bicycles, you don't have to worry about things getting sold out because they can fit those things just about anywhere.
Do they ask for registration for your vehicles?
They ask for a license plate. So
A
they
license
check for your
plate.
license plate. That's it. We didn't have to give anything else other than that.
And then for yourselves, you need ID cards, right?
Correct.
Correct. And is it affordable? I think a lot of people think, if I take my car to Incheon Port, for example, and I want to go to Jeju-do with my car, it's going to cost me an arm and a leg.
Well, it costs you. I mean, it's more than a plane ticket, especially when you're going round trip. But no, not an arm and a leg. No, it's very affordable. It's well within a normal budget, I would say.
Right, because I do know a lot of people who want to travel with their cars, the convenience of having your own car, and also not having to rent a vehicle when you get to your destination.
Right. And
right.
Yeah, go ahead.
No. I was going to say this is our last conversation before your live studio visit. Any thoughts about the past 2 weeks?
Well, I would say of the 3 trips, this would probably be my favorite. I think the experience we had from the first 2 really helped us in this one, where we spent a lot more time driving during the day. We barely drove at night, and we spent a lot more time enjoying our destinations. We camped for a couple of days in a couple of spots. We did some just day trips where we'd leave the campsite but return to it. And I think we enjoyed it a lot more. We paced ourselves a lot better this time.
Great.
And we were far more prepared.
Well, I'm certainly looking forward to seeing you here in Seoul. Now, for our last conversation, I thought, hey, we could pass the phone to the newest part of the threesome, Matt. I don't believe I have his last name.
Hello?
Hello, Matt. Matt, I don't have your last name. Could you introduce yourself?
My name is Matt Lehman. I'm not one of the Canadian guys. I'm an American guy. I've been in Jeju for about 7 years, and I've known Troy for about 4 and Dan for about 6.
That's fantastic. And I mean, you are a longtime Jeju resident who's decided to make this trip, the Ride for Charity, along with Troy. And you kind of joined up with the guys halfway in between the trip, right?
Yeah, that's right.
I believe Matt took a plane to Seoul. Then he went to go purchase an actual vehicle and registered it and then joined them halfway. How's the trip been so far?
It's been great. It's been really fun. It was really anxious. I was so anxious to get out and on the road. Last week I wasn't able to join the guys when they left. And the previous couple of trips I had really wanted to go on, but it hadn't worked out timing-wise with vacation. And I have a wife and a daughter, and I can't just leave like a couple other guys I know can.
Right.
But I was really lucky to be able to join on this trip, even though it's only halfway through. And have had a really good time. It was a little bit, it was a little bit interesting getting into Seoul and getting a bike in Seoul. I was really lucky to meet a really nice guy, really helpful guy with a good bike, and was able to find my way out of Seoul fairly easily and join up with the guys. But they've been really fun all the way through.
And, I'm sure it's every man's dream to go on a motorbike trip in the countryside, but even better with some of your best friends. It's like a guy's trip, right?
Yeah, it is definitely a guy's trip.
Where you don't have to carry the wives' bags and the children's crying, where you could just kind of goof around with each other. Please, I got a few moments, so if you would like to make a shout out to your wife and child.
Sure. My wife's name is Joy. My daughter's Emma. She just lost her first tooth. I haven't quite seen her without her first tooth gone yet, but I'm bringing some presents home to them, so they'll be really happy I've gone.
All right, fantastic. What was that?
Troy says he misses Jung-ah too. I think we all miss Jung-ah too.
Oh, I miss Jung-ah too. I want to talk to her on the phone next week. All right, well, I certainly hope you guys have a very, very safe trip, and I'll keep my fingers crossed. Will you be joining me in the studio on Monday?
Yes, I think I will, at least if you want me there. I'm not sure if I'm...
We want you here.
All right, well, I'll be there.
And lots of pictures, okay? I know you guys still have another 3 days, including the weekend, so...
All right, I'll make sure Troy takes lots of pictures.
Thank you so much. That was Troy, Dan, and Matt on the road. They're very close to reaching Seoul now, and they will be joining us in the studio once again Monday morning, everyone. Send them lots of messages and text messages to show support for their Ride for Charity. Go Jeju Furey. In the meantime, let's go to a music break. In just a bit, Jennifer is joining us in the studio for On the Road special. All right. In the meantime, let us go to a music break. Here's an old one that I think is just beautiful. There's all these beautiful older Korean songs that bring me back some great memories, beautiful ballads, and here's one of them. This is by Lee Jang-woo, called 훈련소로 가는 길. Basically, this is when the military, you're called to military, you shave off your head and you say goodbye to your girlfriend, and you'll be back in, back then it was after 4 years. 4 years. Can you